Folks, thanks for joining us for this career meetup to learn more about the Northwestern Mutual Internship Program. And with me today is Kaityn Gates, the Director of Campus Selection. So, Kaityn, say hi to everybody and tell folks a little bit about this program.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. So, Northwestern Mutual has one of the top 10 internships in the financial industry, and it's extremely greatly due to the cause that we actually contract and license our interns as financial representatives. So, they get to fully hands on experience what it's like to be a financial advisor. They get to build their own client base, they get to go on meetings with these clients, learn about their dreams, goals, ambitions and create financial plans for those people.
That sounds really specific and interesting. And what I'm curious about is, I mean, you're putting people right into the forefront in this internship, which is different than a lot of them. So, what's the training and onboarding process like?
Yeah, so we have a three-step interview process, and after that interview process, if given an offer and if accepting an offer, we'll start the contracting and licensing. We pay for your study material and your first exam. So we have a coordinator that is very hands-on throughout that process and takes you step by step so you don't feel like you're all in it alone. And with our training, we have one of the top training programs in the country. So we have a 2.5 day training school where you get all the information that you need to be successful. And then throughout the internship, even though you're setting your own meetings and you're going on these meetings, you'll have a college unit director there to help you. You'll have a mentor and you'll have ongoing training and development meetings throughout the weeks of the internship.
Now, one thing I know I've heard from students that have applied for similar positions in the past that they're most concerned about is how do I build my leads and things like that, and what kind of support do I get from the company? Am I going to be cold calling the phone book, or how does that work?
Yeah, and we get that question all the time too. So we again have a really extensive training that teaches you how to find a market that you are interested in. So the last thing that we want to do, especially since our company has been built on relationships that we build with our clients, the last thing that we want to do is give you a list of 10 random people and say, hey, go build a relationship with this person and try to talk about their finances. That probably wouldn't work out too well. So we really want to teach and train our interns, our full-time employees on how to capitalize on those relationships and how to build those relationships within the community that they're in.
That's fantastic. So, just from a larger point of view now, Caitlin, talk a little bit about Northwestern Mutual as a company whole and kind of what the company culture is like and who are the people that work there?
Yeah, so Northwestern Mutual, we have a home office in Milwaukee, and here in Charlotte, we have a big agency. We're actually the second largest in the country. We go all the way up from Winston-Salem and Asheville, all the way down to Augusta, Georgia. And here in Charlotte itself, we have three different offices in the North Charlotte, South Park, and Ballantyne area. And in all of those offices, I will say they're pretty competitive with each other, trying to outcompete each other, see who has the most clients and see who is raising more money for nonprofits and so forth. But there has never been a more supportive environment, especially with what's going on today with COVID-19. I myself have been a part of, 10 different webinars from people around the country trying to help each other and throw ideas around. So I would say, even though it's a competitive culture and it's an extremely successful culture, there's a lot of support and resources that go around as well.
That's very cool. Now, describe a little bit about, if you can, the kind of qualities that an ideal candidate for this internship would have. Maybe there's specific majors you tend to look at, or what really stands out.
Yeah, so we look for people that are definitely hardworking. We don't really expect people to have financial planning experience coming into this, whether they're interns or full time. Our managing director in our North Charlotte office, she was actually previously a concert pianist before being a financial advisor.
Wow.
So we don't expect any type of experience. We base our decisions off of the characteristics of people. So are they hardworking? Do they have adversity or grit to them? Are they personable? Can they interact and build relationships with people? Because that's most importantly what our business is based off of. And are they coachable? Can they have a sponge like mentality and take what they've learned and apply it quickly?
Yeah, you mentioned adversity and grit there. Talk about how candidates can pitch that to you and even other potential employers.
Yeah. So a lot of places really look for, they'll say adversity or grit or determination. Um, or we like to call it, what's your why? Why do you want to get into this specific industry? And I think that's something that's important for any industry that you go into, having that why behind and that passion behind it. So for instance, I've heard people say that, they grew up in a background that they didn't have the greatest examples of financial security and they want to change that for themselves, their future family, and people in their community. I have also seen that, they've grown up in a really great and stable financial background and they still want that for themselves and their future community. And really, your why, it's going to be different from anybody else's, but it's also going to be the most important thing that's going to help push you even on those hard days.
Absolutely. So, Kaityn, tell folks how they can find out more about this internship, where they can apply, and how they can connect with you.
Yeah, definitely. So we are not on a hiring freeze. Unlike a lot of other places, we are still accepting interns, we're still accepting full time positions. We, as a company, kind of thrive in these situations. We have a bunch of people, coming to us wanting to talk about their financial plans and financial security. So we want people. And the way that you can find our positions and apply is either through our main website, nm.com, under the internships or full-time careers, or you can email me directly at caitlin.e.gates@nm.com, or you can connect with any of our Northwestern Mutual representatives on LinkedIn, and they'll help guide you on the right direction. We're also on Hire a Niner too. I know that a bunch of people have a lot of resources on Hire a Niner. There's a lot of great companies on there, and we're one of those companies.
Well, fantastic. Kaityn, thanks for joining us and talking to students a little bit about their opportunities here. One last thing, you can pass on a piece of advice for students as we're in a lot of transition, there's a lot of change and uncertainty. What's something they can do to keep their job search on track?
Yeah, I would say now more than ever is the time to be active. There is a lot of people that are still looking to fill positions. And even though we are all, working from home, my dog didn't make an appearance today, um, but we are still actively looking. Even though we're not on campuses, we're still, doing these great webinars that Jay gets to host. We are still, searching on LinkedIn. We're still checking the job boards that we post to. There's a lot of places that are still looking for those positions. So my advice to students would be, don't be afraid to reach out, connect with people on LinkedIn, message them, start a conversation, and learn about the positions that they have at their company.
Fantastic. Thanks again for joining us, Kaityn. Of course, students, please follow up on the methods she mentioned and join us back here on the Career Center's YouTube page for more interaction with employers. And you can still interact with your Career Center through our virtual options on our office.